Hello, welcome. Today's flow, we're going to start firing up the quads a little bit, so I hope you're ready. We are going to start in a tabletop position on all fours. And when you get into this position, I just want you to think about having even weight on both of your knees and in both of your hands, pushing into all four corners of your hands. They should be all the way flat against the mat. From here, with your inhale, drop your chest, lifting your gaze up to the front of the room, coming to a cow. And exhale, chin tucks in, back rounds, keeping your hands and your knees plugged into the mat. Inhale, drop your belly, lift your gaze. And exhale, cat. This time with your inhale, taking your body to the left, starting to create circles as you go through that same cat-cow motion. Starting small, and maybe letting them get just a little bit bigger with each circle. You can move your head as you go through them. And just feeling every vertebrae move in your back one at a time. And we'll switch directions. And start to find stillness. We're going to push back to seated on heels, tucking our toes underneath us and gathering our hands in our laps. Go ahead and close down your eyes, feeling the stretch on the soles of your feet. And just take a moment to slow your breath down, making your inhales and your exhales equal length, and letting yourself breathe into your stomach. Keeping your eyes closed, go ahead and start turning your head back and forth, warming up your neck. If it's too intense on your feet, you can untuck your toes at any time. Otherwise, stay here. Start to nod your head yes and no, looking all the way at the ceiling and all the way at the ground, still keeping those eyes closed. And slowly blinking your eyes open, coming back into that tabletop position. Give your feet a nice shake. And tucking your toes, straighten your legs, send your hips up and back into your first downward dog. Take as many wiggles as you like here. You can bend your knees, sway side to side, letting yourself open up into your back body. And still thinking about pushing into all four corners of our hands, just like we did in that tabletop. As you start to find stillness, look in between your palms and start taking baby steps all the way to the top of your mat. With your inhale, bring your hands to your shins, come into a halfway lift. And exhale, forward fold all the way down to the mat. Inhale, arms follow up to the ceiling, root to rise. And exhale, release, palms facing forward, shoulders rolled down and back, eyes gazing at the front of the room. Inhale, arms are up. And exhale, hinge at your hips, pass through prayer, forward fold down to the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step your left foot followed by your right into a high plank, and then drop your knees, chest, and chin down to the mat. Inhale, slides you forward, low cobra. And exhale, tuck your toes, pushing your hips up and back, downward facing dog. Again, take any wiggles that you need here, or maybe it starts to feel good to find stillness. Think of tilting your tailbone up towards the ceiling and trying to get lighter on your toes. With your inhale, look between your palms. Baby steps will take you to your top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift, hands to shins. And exhale, forward fold, pushing that weight into your toes. Inhale, arms are up to the ceiling. Exhale, release. Inhale, brings your arms up. Exhale, pass through prayer, forward fold, down to the floor. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step your left foot followed by your right into that high plank. And this time, take your first chaturanga, lowering all the way down. Inhale, upward facing dog, thighs are alive. And exhale, downward facing dog. Find stillness here for 3 breaths. This time with your inhale, take your right leg, place it between your 2 palms, turn your back foot out 45 degrees, standing up strong into warrior 1. Pushing your left hip towards the front of the room, finding a nice square in your body, and sinking lower into your lunge. With your exhale, drop your hands to your hips, slightly move your back foot forward a couple inches, shortening your stance. With your inhale, open your chest, look at the ceiling, straightening that front leg. And exhale, spill over that front leg, putting your hands on either side of your foot, pyramid pose. Still trying to keep those hips square, pulling your left hip forward and pushing your right hip back. You can have a slight bend in your front leg if that helps you feel comfortable. And just start to let your body melt with the gravity. With your inhale, lean onto your front foot, come onto your back foot toes, bringing that back foot up towards your glutes. And exhale, let your left foot meet your right, keeping your hands where they are, forward fold. Inhale, sweeping your arms up, seating your hips back, come into a chair pose. And exhale, forward fold, stepping your left foot followed by your right into a plank, passing through a chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. 3 breaths here. This time with your inhale, taking your left foot, placing it between your palms, turning your back foot out 45 degrees, coming up strong, warrior 1. Pulling that right hip towards the front of the room, left hip towards the back of the room, sinking low in your stance. With your exhale, hands to your hips, shorten your stance a couple of inches, straightening that front leg. And inhale, chest and chin go to the ceiling. Exhale will spill you over, pyramid pose. Again, pulling your hips so that they're square to the front of the room. Slightly squeezing the inside of your thighs to make that happen. With your inhale, lean your weight into your left foot and your hands, pulling your right foot close to your glutes. And exhale, right foot meets the left, hands stay where they are, forward fold. Pushing your weight into your toes. With your inhale, sweep your arms up, seating your hips back, chair pose. And exhale, forward fold, hands to the mat, stepping your left foot followed by your right into a high plank, taking your chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Remember, your downward facing dog is always an active pose. We want to be pushing into our hands, pushing in the back of our hamstrings, allowing our shoulders to open. With your inhale, take your right foot, place it between your 2 palms, turn your back foot out 60 degrees, cartwheel your arms open to the side of the room, warrior 2. Looking over your middle finger, staying low in your hips. With your exhale, left hand, left leg, right arm up and overhead, reverse your warrior. And with your inhale, turning to the side of the room, arms going in opposite directions, big star. Exhale, sinking low into goddess pose. With your inhale, reaching up into star, not letting your legs straighten all the way. And exhale, hands to your knees, pushing your right shoulder into your midline, goddess pose. Inhale, star. Exhale, other side, left shoulder comes in. Inhale, star. And exhale, cartwheeling your arms back down, framing your front foot, sending your right foot back to meet your left, taking your vinyasa. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. With your inhale, take your left foot, place it between your palms, turning your right foot out 45 degrees. Cartwheel your arms open, warrior two. Keeping your chest directly over your hips, which is directly in between your feet, not letting it go too far forward. Exhale, reverse your warrior. Inhale, turning to the opposite side of the room, arms going in either direction, big star. And exhale, dropping low into goddess pose, keeping your pelvis tucked slightly under. This time with your inhale, popping that right foot. And exhale, down to the center. Inhale, popping that left foot. Exhale, down to the floor. With your inhale, pop both feet. And exhale, goddess pose. Inhale, big star. Exhale, cartwheel down, left foot meets the right. Take your vinyasa. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. 3 breaths. This time with your inhale, right leg goes all the way up, hips stay square, 3-legged dog. Exhale, pull your knee in, knee to nose, tiger curl. Inhale, send the leg back, 3-legged dog. Exhale, pulling your shin up towards your wrist, coming into your pigeon. Trying to get your ankle towards your left wrist. If your legs are too tight, no worries if it is closer to your groin. Wherever it needs to be to feel a nice stretch on the outside of your glute. Take one more inhale, open up your chest, chin to the ceiling. And exhale, forward fold, sleepy pigeon. Inhale, walk yourself up, hands to the mat, tuck your back toes, sending that leg up and back, 3-legged dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. With your inhale, send your left leg up, keeping your hips square, 3-legged dog. And exhale, tiger curl, knee to nose. Inhale, 3-legged dog. Exhale, bringing that leg forward, pigeon pose. Keeping that chest nice and proud. And exhale, letting yourself melt over that front leg. With your inhale, walk your arms back up, swing that back foot around to meet your front foot, coming into an easy seat. Placing your hands on your knees and just start to roll your neck to the left. Creating circles. Nice and slow, feeling each vertebrae move. Switch directions. And now turning to the long side of your mat, opening up your legs into a straddle. We're going to put our arms up and turn our body towards our right leg, letting ourselves spill over that leg and trying to stay connected with our hips staying on the mat as close as we can. You'll feel a nice stretch in your left side body as well as your hamstrings. And really try to corkscrew your chest open as you get lower. Inhale up to the center, and exhale, switch sides, spilling over that left leg. Keeping your sit bones plugged into the mat. Inhale back up to center, and exhale, slowly walk your arms in front of you. Coming into the center. The goal here is not to push ourselves too far, but more to just let go and relax and allow gravity to do it for us. With your inhale, walk yourself back up, swinging your leg back around to the front of your mat. Come all the way down to your back, sending both legs up and grabbing the outside of your feet. Make sure your baby is still happy. You can take little rocks, straighten into your legs. Just let yourself move how your body wants to move here. Check in with your breath. See how you're feeling any different since before we started this flow. Maybe you're looser, maybe you have a little bit more energy, or maybe you feel exactly the same, and all of those things are completely fine. With your inhale, reaching your hands overhead, feet go to the bottom of your mat, big stretch. And exhale, setting up for your final resting pose. Palms are facing up towards the ceiling, shoulders are slightly rolled underneath you. Feet are apart on opposite corners of your mat. Let everything relax, let everything melt, and just enjoy this final position that you finally made your way to. I encourage you to stay here for as long as you can and as long as it feels good. Thank you for making time today. I'll see you soon.